that's the central machinery notcher we bought from Harbor Freight. Now it's done a fairly good job for what it is. In some regards, you do get what you pay for. It's very irregular on keeping it centered, and the only way you could adjust that with this notcher is you have to shim the clamp out. But it's a good basic notcher, and I've played with this and it seems to float. Because it floats really bad in the bearing. Now we've only had this about a month. Always making sure that it's very well lined up. And it's already got a ton of play in the bearing. It's a lot of slop in it. It's great if you're just doing onesie twosies of regular tubing. This will work just fine. Alright, so that was a little demonstration of our central machinery notcher. And it came from Harbor Freight, and they sell that same notcher at a lot of places. They just put different stickers on them. But it's had a few issues under constant usage over the last couple weeks. The main shaft bushing is already pretty sloppy. So when you use that hole saw, it allows it to walk around, which makes it even harder to try to keep the thing in center. And if you want to try to get that in center, you have to shim the whole little V block out. And it's not very rigid, so as you're cutting, the whole thing's vibrating. But for what it is, it's not a bad little notcher, right? So let me show you what other projects we've done with it. Now we've been putting on a lot of fabrication content, and we will be getting back out on the trail soon. We've had quite a few trail runs that have canceled for one reason or another, and we've got some other trips lined up for Utah and Colorado that'll be on the channel here soon as well. I hope you enjoy the fabrication stuff also. We try to put stuff out there that most people can do in a garage. That's where we're doing it. And at various levels of equipment. Now we were able to notch a lot of this. We couldn't do the sharper notches there. And we really couldn't get the those short stubby ones notched here. So let me show you what we upgraded to. Now we bought this Build Pro notcher. It was a demo unit from our friends at Trick Tools. The unit has a lot of pretty cool features that we'll go over. There's a lot of capability here, and I think you'll enjoy it once you see some of these features. I think it'll solve some of the issues you may have with some of the irregular shapes you have to notch. And I think it'll also make just normal notching very easy. Then on the face of this grid pattern, they have angles on it. So as you can see, it allows you on the other side, so that if I put them here, I'm at 15 degrees. Put them there, I'm at 30. I put it there and I can hold at 45, which is a really nice feature. And the other thing it allows me to do is, if I need to, I'll show you, I can actually clamp flat bars on here as well. Alright, so the unit's got these little V blocks that moves all over the grid, and I showed you how it can generate the angles. So the one thing nice about these are, when you place it up here, they slip right in. And if this is the only place you're going to use it, you can bolt this in so they're not removable. It's made to work along with this clamp. Now the clamp has a magnetic base on the back of it, so it just sets right into the clamp itself, and it works along with a lot of the strong hand tooling. So if you want to add things downstream, so if you want to put something over here to locate it or to support it, all the strong hand tool stuff will work in there as well. And it's got this arm that moves around, and you slide it in anywhere you want. You would just set this in, and it just very easily tightens up, and you're ready to notch. And if you want to cut 15 degrees, so you're at 0, you're at 15 here, 30, and then the bottom hole over here is 45. But for me, that really isn't the most attractive part about this notcher. Let me show you something. Alright, so let's say I want to notch something that's not round. Now, one thing I like about this is the ability to do more than just round pieces. Now, I don't have no 5/8 dowel pins, but I do have these turning mandrels. And if you put those in here, it allows you to set up square pieces real easy. Right? You just take off the little V-block, it's magnetic. And you can clamp it in just that easy. Now you're notching square. If you want to notch it the other direction, just set it up here. Right? Now you're notching the square just that easy. So the face has all these 5/8 holes in it. Now these are all in row, and you would use these for your angles, but you can put anything in here to locate, and it's a great way to fixture, especially if you have a bunch of repetitive stuff. Alright, so let's say you get this. How do you get this centered up on here? Well, I'll show you a quick little method to do that. And this works on just about any notcher out there. Doesn't have to be this one. On this notcher, the main shaft's 1 inch. So I'm going to take a piece of tubing that's also 1 inch. And just set it so the shaft can come out. Now, you can very easily take your ruler off your square and just run it across until it's at the right height. And if you need more, that's the beauty of this little adjusting foot. If I need to raise or lower it just a little bit, micro adjust it here, up or down, until when you drag it across there, it doesn't clunk. Now let's say you got this curved piece you want to notch. You can clamp this right to the faceplate. Get your clamp in the right location. Get this where you want it, lock it down, and it's just that easy. And you might even be able to put some pins in here to locate this for future. Right? It's that faceplate, you could clamp a fixture to it if you're trying to locate something very specific. Fixturing makes a lot of jobs like this, if they're repeat jobs, very quick and easy. Alright, so let's set this thing up and let's notch a standard tube. Like any other notch, we're going to use third rule. So 1.5 tube, we're going to come in 1/2 inch deep on the notch. Now for the hole saws, if you're not running a real small hole saw, put your adapter on. Put your hole saw on. Now they make an adapter for an annular cutter. We've always known those as roto broach, and those work really nice because they're more like an end mill. Okay, so we're going to mark this at 1/2 inch. So we're going to line that up. We're on 0 degrees. Because you're always going to have a little bit of a burr on one side. So we got just a little faint, you can see the edge where it just kind of pushed material. I don't think you're off as far as it looks. We'd deburr that right up, and I think it'd be right in center. And you can always adjust it just a little bit. Alright, so let's say we want to put an angular notch on it. We'll unlock our screw. Let's say we want to do a 30 degree. said easy, 30 degrees. So I'm really happy with the notcher. I like the ability to do squared tubing as well. And getting this thing set up for center, it still needs a little bit more dial in. And it's not just a one and done. And if it was on a sturdier base, I think it'd be easier to adjust it. Now, it's a very modular notcher. It allows you to do a lot of different things. Right? You can do squares and rounds. You can do things at different angles real easy. The angles is set up for 50, but it'll probably go a good 10 degrees past that. I like the fact that curved pieces, I can just clamp to it. And if I want to notch square tubing, put a couple set of pins in it, and I can notch this just as well. We bought a demo unit from Trick Tools. We do some work with Trick Tools now and then. We worked with them on the that fine slugger right there, the 14-inch metal cutting. We worked with them on that. So if you're looking for a notcher like this, you know, give Trick Tools a call. All right, so that was using the Build Pro notcher, and we got it from our friends at Trick Tools. We bought a demo unit, so it wasn't just given to us. And I would have no hesitation that if I didn't like it, it would be going back. But it turned out really nice. I like the ability to be able to do round, which, you know, what notcher doesn't. But I can do square, I can do angular cuts real well. I showed you that curved piece that we notched on the end. It's very diverse. You can set up the angles real easy on that faceplate. So if we do a project that's got a lot of repetition, I can put a little fixture on the front of it, and that'll locate it so we can just get them through instead of having to, you know, worry about the positioning on each piece. So that's one thing that's really nice about this one, the ability to fixture real easy. And it works with all the strong hand tool stuff as well. So if you want to do some more fixturing on it, you can always make up your own stuff. You know, we do a lot of that. But you can also buy a lot of strong hand tool stuff. It bolts right to it. It allows you to, you know, do all kinds of things. So if you like this kind of stuff, check out some of our builds. If you like those rock sliders that you've seen, I'll see you in this video here. You want to see some of our tube bending, I'll see you in this video here. And if you want to go out and check out this tube bender at Trick Tools, I'll leave Trick Tools link here as well. So whether we're in a garage, on a trail, or at a show somewhere, I'll see you there. This is Jeepingmo.